There are forces within you that do not roar, they whisper. They don't break your path, they bend it. And if you're not aware of them, they will steer your destiny into places you were never meant to go. These are the shadow archetypes, ancient patterns, psychological spirits, inner characters living in your unconscious. And every single one of them has one mission: to keep you small, predictable, and asleep. But once you see them, once you name them, you disarm them. Today I'll reveal the dark archetypes that sabotage your destiny, and how to transform each one into power, clarity, and purpose. You're not watching this by accident. You're here because your soul is ready to break an ancient pattern. In the language of the mind, we call them archetypes, ancient universal patterns imprinted not just on our psyche, but woven into the very spirit blood of the collective. Some arrive bathed in light, carrying the lantern of the sage or the keys of the magician. They are the whispers of our potential, the blueprints of our wisdom. And others rise from the twilight valleys of our inner landscape. These are the shadow carriers, the dark archetypes. They are not monsters. They are the resonant chords of our oldest habits, the echoes of our deepest fears, the invisible chains that bind us to a past that no longer serves. They are the energy that keeps us beautifully, tragically stuck. But listen closely, Seeker, for this is the hidden truth. These forces are not evil. They are not a stain upon your spirit. They are, in their origin, protective. They are the sacred, rusted armor your soul forged to survive an ancient battle. They are the loyal sentinel, standing guard at the gate of a forgotten wound. Yet here lies the great paradox. Protection, when its roots drink only from the well of old fear, becomes a cage. The guardian becomes the jailer. The fortress that once saved you now becomes your prison, obscuring the very light you seek. This is the sacred sabotage of the soul. To awaken, to truly begin the journey, is to open the inner eye and behold these forces. You finally see them not as unchangeable fate written in stone, but as inherited stories, as old fading scripts. And you realize, with a sudden trembling clarity, that you are the one holding the pen. It is time to rewrite the story. These shadow archetypes are masters of disguise. They are not one, but many, yet four primary energies rise most often to bar the gate to your destiny. They are the great guardians of stagnation. The first guardian, the doubter. This is the first and most common shadow. It is the cold mist that seeps under the door of your conviction. It does not shout, it whispers. It leans in, close to your heart, and murmurs, "Who are you to claim such light? Who are you to heal, to create, to lead? You are not ready. You are not whole. Look, you are still so flawed." Its weapon is not attack, but the poison of uncertainty. Its only purpose is to paralyze you with a single damning question. Am I enough? It is the force that commands you to wait, and wait, keeping you forever seated in the waiting room of your own becoming. The second guardian, the Saboteur. This guardian is the most tragic, for it arrives only when you are winning, just as the light of your success begins to dawn on the horizon. Just as your wings begin to take flight, this shadow rises to unravel the work. It is the sudden, inexplicable urge to procrastinate, the lost focus, the careless mistake that shatters the foundation, the self-destructive impulse that burns the bridge just as you are about to cross. Do not mistake this for weakness. This is the panic of an old identity. Your victory feels unfamiliar, and this archetype, in its profound confusion, mistakes the terrifying brightness of your new dawn for a fire that will consume you. It would rather see you safe in the familiar dark than lost in a light it does not yet understand. The third guardian, the shadow child. This is not an archetype of logic, but of pure, primal emotion. This is the echo of your first wounds. It is the part of you that still carries the memory of rejection, the sting of disapproval, or the vast, cold emptiness of abandonment. This is the inner child who learned a devastating equation. To be visible is to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable is to be wounded. And so, it orchestrates your life from the shadows, compelling you to avoid all true emotional risk. It shies away from the spotlight, avoids the depth of true intimacy, and sabotages any growth that might make you too bright, too loud, or too much, and therefore at risk of being left behind once more. The fourth guardian, the manipulator. This is the most subtle of the four. It is the deceiver that wears your own face, the liar that speaks in your own trusted tone. How do you know when these guardians have taken the wheel? How do you discern their whisper from the call of your soul? You look for the sacred red flags. You watch for the patterns. When the doubter is active, you will find yourself in a state of perpetual seeking. You will always need one more sign before you dare to take the leap. One more omen, one more synchronicity. This sacred paralysis, this mistaking of endless waiting for patience, this is the signature of the doubter. When the Saboteur is active, you will abandon the path at the first sign of true light. The goal is in sight. The relationship is healing. The abundance is flowing. And this is the precise moment you are overcome with the urge to flee, to burn it all down, to return to the familiar aching chaos of before. When the shadow child is active, you will consistently, painfully choose comfort over your calling. You will trade the vast, wild ocean of your destiny for the small, safe harbor of another's approval. It will silence your truth to keep the peace. It will shrink your dreams to fit their expectations. When the manipulator is active, it becomes the voice of comfortable compromise. The sweet tongue that whispers half-truths, "You've worked so hard, you deserve a break, just for today." It is the master of the justifiable excuse, seducing you with the promise of ease, knowing that later is the place where destiny goes to die. It will choose the immediate, fleeting warmth of external validation over the eternal, roaring fire of your own soul's purpose. You will hear the most beautiful, eloquent, and convenient lies, and they will be spoken in your own voice. This is the sweet poison of the half-truth. It is noble to be tired. You must rest, indefinitely. The world is too harsh. It is wise to stay small. That great work can wait. Your soul will understand. It masterfully reframes your sacred responsibility as an unbearable burden and your avoidance as an act of profound self-care. It is the velvet cage of your own best excuses. When you catch yourself in these loops, when you feel that familiar sinking pull, be aware, for you are not witnessing your own sovereign will. You are witnessing an ancient script, a dark archetype that has temporarily taken the throne of your mind. You are seeing the shadow, and the one who sees the shadow is the one who is beginning to awaken. To see the shadow is the first awakening. To transmute it is the great work. This is not a battle, it is an alchemy. It is the sacred magical art of turning the lead of your old fears into the shining gold of your destiny. You are the alchemist in your own soul's laboratory, and this is how you begin the work. Step 1, the invocation of naming. Consciousness is the sun. A shadow cannot survive its direct, unflinching gaze. The moment you feel that old, familiar pull, the chill of the doubter, the sting of the saboteur, you must name it. Speak its identity into the air, not with anger, but with profound, neutral awareness. Ah, I see you. This is the voice of the shadow child. I recognize this energy. This is the manipulator. This is not an accusation. It is an acknowledgement. In that single instant, an instant of pure, luminous consciousness, you separate yourself, the vast, eternal observer, from the old, fleeting program. The spell is broken. The power does not just shift. It floods back to you, its rightful sovereign. Step 2, the sacred interruption. A shadow thrives in stagnation. It is an energy of paralysis, of waiting, of hesitation. You must shatter this stillness with motion. You must confuse the archetype with immediate conscious action. It does not have to be a grand, earth-shaking gesture. Send the one email you've been fearing. Write one sentence of your vision. Speak one word of your truth. Take one single, divine, defiant step toward your light. This sacred pattern interrupt is a thunderclap to the archetype. It scrambles its ancient code. It cannot survive the high, vibrant frequency of your sovereign, decisive will. Step 3, the alchemical transmutation. Here is the deepest secret of the shadows. They are not your enemies. They are your greatest gifts, cloaked in darkness. They are your most profound strengths, inverted and misunderstood. You do not banish the shadow. You ask it what it came to teach you. You reclaim its energy. You turn the poisoned well into a sacred spring. Within the paralyzing doubter, you uncover the gift of divine discernment, the wisdom to know your true path. Within the destructive saboteur, you find the dormant power of rebirth, the courage to let an old self die so a new one can be born. Within the wounded shadow child, you reclaim the holy cry for authenticity, the power to be radically vulnerable and truly seen. And within the sweet-talking manipulator, you forge the diamond of true self-mastery, the discipline to align your every action with your soul. The shadow recedes when a greater light takes the throne. Your destiny is not just a path you walk. It is an energy you must choose to embody. You must consciously, royally crown your higher self. Step 4. The coronation. When the shadows rise, you must choose. Which archetype of light will you become? Will you be the visionary, who sees beyond the veil of fear? The spiritual warrior, who meets all challenges with an open, courageous heart? The creator who spins new worlds from pure intention, the sage who embodies the quiet wisdom of the ages, the healer whose very presence mends the fragments, the divine child who trusts the universe with radical joy, or the master alchemist who stands in the sacred fire and chooses again and again to be transformed. The shadows may always whisper from the valleys, but they no longer sit on the throne of your mind. You do. Your future depends on who you choose to become. There is an old belief that your destiny is written for you, etched in the stars, a fixed fate you must simply endure or accept. But the great awakened truth is this: your destiny is written by you. It is not a static point in the cosmos. It is a living, breathing timeline of your highest potential, and it is forged in the sacred fire of this very moment. It is written in the golden ink of your choices. It is illuminated by the high beam of your awareness. It is secured by your profound, unshakable willingness to descend into your own inner landscape and lovingly confront the shadows that wait for you there. For this is the ultimate paradox of the spiritual path. You cannot awaken to your highest, most luminous self without first embracing and integrating your deepest, most hidden self. You cannot ascend to the light without first gathering the lost, precious fragments of your soul from the dark. But hear me clearly, for if you hear nothing else, hear this: you are infinitely more vast, more ancient, and more powerful than every single archetype you carry. They are the old echoes. You are the new sound. They are the inherited patterns. You are the divine pattern breaker. They are the ink stains of an old story. But you, seeker, you are the storyteller. And now that you have seen them, now that you have named them and brought their subtle craft into the full, compassionate light of your own consciousness, they can no longer operate in the dark. They have lost their unseen power. The throne is no longer theirs. It is and always has been yours. Your destiny is not written in the stars. It's written in your choices, your awareness, your willingness to confront the shadows inside you. You cannot awaken your highest self without confronting your deepest self. But hear me clearly. You are more powerful than every archetype you carry, because you are not the story. You are the storyteller. And now that you see these dark archetypes, they can no longer operate in the dark. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. Remember, awakening is reclaiming the pen of your destiny. You are part of this collective unfolding. I'll see you in the next one. Universal Consciousness signing out.